What's going on, trappers? Welcome back to JWell Trap TV. If you want to help Tariq, Braden, and I get Noma's profits, make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and put a notification bell so you know when I go live and make a new video. You wouldn't want me to end up like her. Let's go. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to JWell Trap TV, and we are back. We're reviewing Power, Season 3, Episode 6, and this episode is called Land of Lies, but I'm gonna call it Land of Cap, because we got a lot of ninjas in here capping today. So look, whenever someone capping, I'm gonna play the sound. All right, let's get started. Let's go. So we start the episode off and we got Monet and she is confirming Lorenzo's body. So you guys know it's about to get crazy. She's about to come tell all the kids what's going on. We switch to a mashup and we see Salim and Diana sleeping together. So it's finally confirmed, y'all. I was telling y'all it happened, but now there it is for y'all to see. We got Kane playing poker and we got Drew chilling looking for Gordo. And then they all get the call. Effie is chilling with Tariq, and Tariq is acting a little different today. I don't know if you guys remember, but last night he met with Lauren, and she is alive. So yes, Effie checks her phone, and she sees the news about Lorenzo dying. She shows Tariq, and Tariq starts to get up. She asks Tariq if he knew anything about this, because he looks like he's seen a ghost, according to her. And he says, no, he doesn't know anything about it. He says he has to take care of some things before class and he leaves. We go to Sax and Davis and Sax informs Davis of the news. Sax asks if he's heard from the Tejadas and Davis says no, but he will check in with the family. Davis asks Sax if he knows anything about an investigation involving foul play into Lauren's death. And Sax plays dumb and says he doesn't know anything at all.
Listen, have you heard anything about an investigation into Lauren Baldwin's death?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now! Stop the cap!
He says he needs them to look into this to find out why Tariq's name is coming up in it. Sax says he'll look into it and circle back. Sax asks how Theo is doing and Davis says not good. He says that it's gonna take too long to wait on the paperwork, and he asks Sax if he knows anyone that can push through a commutation. So now we switch to Lauren, and she's back at her parents' house. I guess after she met up with Tariq, she went home. She hears someone coming through the door, and she thinks it's her parents, but it's actually Jenny. Jenny tells Lauren that she needs to go back to the safe house. Lauren says that Jenny can't force her to go back, according to Sax, and then she says that she doesn't think that Tariq killed her and that it was Effie. Jenny hears this information, and she asks Lauren if she went anywhere else but to this house, so she's already thinking that she went to go see Tariq. Lauren lies and says that she came straight here and that she wanted her parents to know that she was alive.
Where else did you go after you left the safe house, Lauren?
I was here the entire night.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now! Stop the cap!
But they never came home. Jenny says that her parents still think that Lauren is dead and that they moved her parents for their safety. Lauren says that she wants her life back, and Jenny tells her that they cannot tell her parents until this case is over. She also tells her that if she drops out, that it won't be good for anybody. Lauren says that she will return to the safe house, but she wants to talk to Sax alone first. We go to Tariq and Effie entering the classroom. Effie asks Tariq if he's okay, and he says yes. He tells her that he wants to take her somewhere tomorrow and asks if she's free, and she says that she is. So Dr. Bennett starts talking, and we start talking about how America is a land of lies. I'm just so sick of these like meta, you know, this is what the episode is about class sessions. Like every class session is the name of the episode. Come on, get more creative, guys. Seriously. So they start talking about truth and deception. And they get into talking about Diana's family, you know, because they're criminals and whatnot. And Tariq stands up for her. He says that they only hear what they hear from the media and that the media can spin things negatively. So we get a good moment here with Tariq defending Diana. And we gotta watch this relationship between Tariq and Diana throughout this episode. So now we go to a Tejada family meeting. Monet says that she's gonna need the kids' help at the funeral. Diana asks her if the police know anything, but Monet says the cops don't care about them and that they don't know anything about the investigation yet. Drew says that the word on the street is that the Russians did it. He's saying that they killed Poppy because of what happened to the Castillo connect. Kane pushes back on this and says that the Tejadas did not kill the Russian, and that he needs to confirm that, get some proof, before he rolls up on the Russians mistakenly. Kane asks Monet if she is cool with Drew's plan, and Monet says that she doesn't want anyone making any moves until they have proof, and especially against the Russians. Drew gets upset and he runs off, and Diana follows after him, and when they leave, Monet tells Kane that he's gonna need to handle some of the clean money business, and that she wants Kane to handle Lorenzo's life insurance policy. Kane says, isn't this Diana's job? And he also questions her on whether or not she had anything to do with Lorenzo's murder. Monet says that she knows that Lorenzo was lying about IG killing Zeke. She doesn't really go that far to say that, you know, he killed Zeke, which, and I wish they kind of confirmed that. But she says that she wouldn't kill her husband of 20 years over this mistake. And she also tells Kane that she knew that Kane was hiding her father's secret. She asks Kane if he's worried about his safety, if he's worried that, she might put him in the dirt too, and she uses that as the reasoning behind why she didn't kill Lorenzo.
You think that would make me kill my husband over 20 years? The father of my children?
I don't know.
No.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
She then tells Kane that he doesn't know anything, that whenever he tries to put 2 + 2 together, he only gets 5, and to stop trying to, figure this thing out. Kane takes this quietly, he doesn't fight back, and he takes off. So Kane's over here thinking, guys. Kane's over here thinking, he's cooking, guys. Watch out for Kane. We go to Weston Holders, and Tariq come out the elevator, swinging on Braden. He's screaming, he wants to know what happened to Lauren. Tariq over here laying the smack down on Braden.
Uh-oh! Oh! Why would he do that?
We could not be friends after that pile driver. Braden tries to lie about what happened and keep up this little story, but Tariq doesn't want to hear any of it. Braden finally tells the truth about Kane trying to kill him, and then he tells him about Effie taking Lauren. Tariq tells Braden not to say anything about Effie, and then we see him leave. We go to Sax and Tate meeting. Sax wants Tate to use his influence to help with the sentence commutation of Theo Rollins. He says that this will help his campaign get votes. Tate agrees, but he also wants something in exchange. He wants Davis to campaign against his opponents. This will allow Tate to run a positive campaign, and he won't have to get his hands dirty when going after his opponents. After Tate leaves, Jenny comes up. She comments that she did see Tate there, and she says that she's there to apologize. Sax isn't buying it, and he's still upset about her lying about Lauren. He
Stop
asks her
the
if she
cap.
fabricated the accident and wants to know if the AG signed off on the case because he's her CI. He says that he isn't sure if he wants to continue cooperating with her. He says that he wants justice the right way and that their relationship isn't a two-way street. And he asks Jenny if she trusts him. And Jenny doubles down again. She says if he refuses to cooperate, she will use his truth gun confession against him. And she will also rope him into the RICO. So dude, this lady, she went from sleeping with this dude to blackmailing this dude. Sax asks her if she's gonna treat him like a perp, and she says she will unless he comes back to the right side. Damn Jenny. We go to Tariq and Effie, and they're driving through the woods. Looks like Tariq rented out a Lambo truck. Effie and Tariq are talking, and Tariq is telling her that he really cares about her. And he starts talking about his past, how Raina got killed. He talks about how he had to kill Ghost. And Effie says that he did what he had to do, and that she's been through a lot of stuff too. Tariq asks her like what? And then she tells him a story about how when she was a young girl, she was in her house and her mom had a lot of different boyfriends and stuff. And one of these dudes molested her. And when she told her mom ended up marrying this dude. So she's never liked them. They still together, all this stuff. So this isn't the story that Tariq was hoping to hear. Yeah, he says, oh, he's sorry about that. But then he asks her if she has anything else she has to offer. And Effie starts looking around, looking out the window, and she realizes that they are near the site where she killed Lauren, or thought she killed Lauren. So she asks where they're going, and then Tariq pulls up to the spot. He gets out and he tells her to get the out of the car. He is demanding to know what happened. Effie gets out and she's crying. Minnie Mouse is saying she don't know what happened. Tariq tells her not to play with him, and he asks her how Kane knew about the plan to get her out of the city. Effie has tears running down her face now, and she's asking Tariq, what does he want? She's not answering, she's just saying, what do you want? And Tariq says he wants the truth and that he knows she killed Lauren. Effie hears this and she kind of reaches in her shirt and shows that she's strapped. She doesn't necessarily reach for it, but she kind of does, kind of doesn't. And then Tariq says, oh, what, you gonna pull a gun? You gonna shoot me? You think I'm gonna hurt you? Even if I wanted to hurt you, I couldn't because we got a case on us now. Effie says that Lauren wore a wire and that Tariq knows the rules. And why are they different for Lauren? Tariq says that Lauren was a civilian and she wasn't in the game, that Braden was gonna make her disappear. And Effie says that wasn't gonna work out. She wasn't gonna stay gone. Her family would have looked for her. You can't just make a girl like that disappear. Tariq says that Effie fucked it up. Effie says that Tariq forced her to fuck it up, that she didn't have a choice, that Tariq should have done it himself, and that she did it to protect him. Tariq says he believed everything, used to believe everything she told him because he loved her. But before she can respond, he starts screaming, F you, I don't want nothing to do with you. And he tells her that he's leaving her there, that he is not giving her a ride back. So he hops in the car, reverses, and drives off, and she sits there crying. Now look, guys, I'm sorry. I'm about to come out for Team Effie right here. And say, Team Effie, we protected you, Tariq, and we do not appreciate this. We do not appreciate this treatment that we're getting right here, my friend. That girl did wear a wire. She was snitching. A lot of the trouble we was going through was because of the information this woman was giving them. Effie had to do it. Now, we didn't tell you. We didn't tell you about it because look how he started acting. So now we go to Lauren meeting with Sax. And she's saying that, well, if you think that Tariq didn't kill me, doesn't that make Tariq innocent? And Sax is like, no, Tariq is far from innocent, my friend. Lauren reveals that she's been keeping up with stuff, that she got her neighbor's Wi-Fi password and she's had some access to the internet. Sax tells her that she should stay off the internet, but don't tell Jenny that she's using it. And he tells her that Tariq may not have tried to kill you, but he is still a monster. Monster. He tells her that Tariq has a bad family, you know, Ghost, Tasha, Tommy, you know, they were these drug dealers and they groomed him to be the perfect drug dealer. And he tells her that after his sister Raina was killed, that he went off the deep end. And that all these bad things, everything, all this stuff that's been going on Stanfield is all Tariq's fault. And he asks her, what if your testimony is the only thing that can stop Tariq? What if it's the only thing that can stop him, hold him accountable, and maybe stop someone else from dying? Because someone else is gonna die. And Lauren looks on and it looks like she's gonna help. See, I told y'all, man, I can't stand this girl. She is a problem, she gotta go. She gotta go. This is exactly why I'm Team Effie. Because she's a problem. Look at her. They sit her down, they talk to Sax, and then she's already ready to go back on Tariq. Come on. She better start feeding us some information about what's going on this case, or she gotta get clipped. So Effie and Brayden, they pull up to the safe house, they try to go inside. The goons outside tell them that Tariq cut them out and they cannot come in and to use any means necessary to stop them from coming in. They walk away and they're like, man, we gotta cut out the business. And Effie tells Brayden that this was all of his fault. And Brayden says it's Effie's fault and calls her a snake for telling Kane, and now Tariq knows. Brayden keeps going off on her, and Effie says that he's too weak for this, and that she's done. We go inside the safe house, and Kane is meeting with Tariq. Kane asks where Brayden and Effie are. Tariq says that he cut him out, and Kane says, oh, you finally figured out what happened to your old bitch, huh? And Kane tells Tariq that they did what they had to do because Tariq wasn't gonna handle it. We got everybody telling Tariq the same thing. And then Kane tells Tariq that he wish a nigga would step up to him the way he stepped up to, you know, Brayden and Effie. That Kane did exactly what Tariq expected him to do. But now there's an investigation because of what Kane did. Kane said none of the Lauren stuff will lead back to him and that Tariq needs to go figure that stuff out. But for now, they need to focus on moving this weight. Tariq says he's gonna keep moving weight through the fund and he's gonna bring in Diana to move weight at the Ivy Leagues. We now switch to Kane meeting with Brayden at the Tejada bar. Kane asks Brayden if him and Tariq got into a fight, and Brayden says he isn't here for that. Kane gives Brayden Lorenzo's life insurance policy, and Brayden says that he should invest it with Weston Holdings. Kane says this is all big talk for someone who got kicked out of their business. And Brayden asks him what was he supposed to do? The only reason that Kane is still in the business is because he has the ability to kind of stand up to Tariq and kill him if necessary. Kane tells him that's exactly why he needs to buck up and make Tariq respect him. He then tells him that Noma made a deal with all of them. So Kane is understanding that, you know, just because Tariq is, you know, upset that this crew can't break up, they need all of them. He tells Brayden to find a way back in, and then he will invest the Tejada money into Weston Holdings. And I'm sitting over here like, dude, this fool Brayden want to do something for somebody so bad, he would have told him that if you get back into something, I'm gonna do something for you, but really, Brayden is doing something for him. You don't gotta do favors for everybody, Brayden. We go to the repass for Lorenzo at the Tejada house. We meet up with Kai, the drug dealer that wanted a huge percent of their profits from episode 1. He comes in to pay his respects, but he also says that the young Tejadas are disrespecting Lorenzo's memory by not hitting back at someone for his death. He looks at Monet and he says it looks like she needs a shoulder to cry on. At this moment, Drew gets pissed. He ain't letting nobody be with his mama after his daddy. Monet breaks up the fight and she takes Drew aside. Kane sends Kai out and Drew's over here talking to Monet. She calls Kai a clown and Drew says that they need to hit the Russians back for this. Monet asks Drew if Gordo was the one that told him that the Russians did this, and Drew says no. So I'm wondering, how did he find out? Did he really hear out from the streets? Can we know who on the streets told him? Drew says he knows this is the right call, and Monet says she knows that Drew's always been loyal to the family, and that's why Lorenzo was tripping when he put Kane ahead of him. She says that now that she's in charge again, that things are gonna be different. And then Drew says, is he gonna be taking Poppy's spot? And he asks if Kane knows about this. And Monet says to keep everything between them for now, but to not do anything reckless. We switch to Salim and Diana upstairs, and Salim is asking about the people. He's asking if they're really family, saying there's a lot of them. Diana says no, they're not all family, but they are people who respected her father, trying to like give this nigga a hint, you know, respect my daddy while you live in his house. Salim says he is sorry and that he knows this is hard for her. She says that it's hard because it came out of nowhere. Salim asks, did it? He says that Lorenzo's choices led to his demise. I can tell you right now, those were the wrong things to say, my friend. Diana gets pissed and asks him if she's calling her dad a criminal in his own house at his repast. He keeps going and says that's the point, that the people here reflect who your father was. And that if Diana doesn't cut these people off, that she will end up in the same lane as her father or the rest of her family. She gets mad and she tells him he needs to leave now. He goes like, well, why aren't you being reasonable? And she says, reasonable is me being done with your ass for coming after my family for the millionth time. So your boy been over here talking about her family every day, like shut up. She tells him that he can find the door or Kane and Drew can help him find it and get the F out. And I'm over here like, dang Salim, all you have to do is shut up, man. Just shut your mouth. But you kept on going on. You already said that, you know, you worried about her family. You told her that from the jump. You didn't have to keep on hitting her with that shit over and over again. So we go to Tariq and he's going into Weston Holdings. He tries to swipe his card and he gets access denied. He's told that Braden cut off his access. Braden comes down and Braden tells Tariq that he can't just kick him out of the stuff they built together, that he can come out the building and he can come out of the warehouse, and that Tariq needs to respect him. He says that he is family and family forgives. He says that he tried to do what Tariq wanted, but Effie showed up and he didn't have a choice. Tariq says that he did have a choice to tell him the truth, and that yes, he is like his family, and all his family does is lie to him, and then he takes off. We see that Tariq goes to Raina's grave. He's telling Raina that he can't trust anybody. His grandmother walks up behind him, and she tells him that when you point a finger, you have 3 fingers pointing back at you. They start talking and she expresses that he feels like he can't trust anyone, but really you reap what you sow. So she's dropping some game on him. She says that she is alone now that Tasha and Yaz are gone, and she asks Tariq what happened to Ghost. And you know, Tariq lies and says that his past caught up with him, and she tells him to shut up with the lies.
Stop the cap.
Lies are what killed Raina. She says that if he doesn't stop doing what he's doing, that he's gonna end up just like his father. And they both look at the tombstone. Tariq says maybe she's right and it's time to get out the game. We go to Drew at the Tejada bar, and then Gordo comes in. Drew says he has a plan to take out the Russians that killed his dad, but he doesn't have enough bodies to do it. Gordo asks him if he let Kane and Monet know about his plan. Drew says that this is his play and he has to do this alone. He asks Gordo if he's in. Gordo says that he gets it and it's the same thing he would have done for his father. We got this dude capping too. We go to Tariq and he's knocking on Diana's door. She's in the room drinking with Brushandria, Becca, and King. They all decide to give Diana and Tariq some alone time and they leave the room. As they're leaving, Salim walks up and they tell her that Diana's busy. Well, Salim says, well, Diana definitely would want to see me. And they tell her, nah, G, she's with somebody else. And he says, like someone else, like another guy? And this is the moment where he knew he fucked up.
And who's that? Oh, it's Mr. MVP, Simp!
We go back to the room and Diana is gone off the Tito's. Tariq apologizes for not making it to the repass and he asks Diana how she's doing. She says she's doing good and Diana asks him how he's been doing. Tariq says him and Kane are making some changes and he wants her to move some weight. She says that she's not really interested and the last thing she talked to her father about was getting out of the game. She says that maybe Tariq should get out too, and Tariq says it's not that simple for him. She says that she still has some leftover product that she needs to stash from the candy store. And Tariq is surprised to hear that she was running the candy store operation and gives her some props. Tariq says he can help Diana by giving her access to his lock boxes on the roof. He says that she can stash her stuff there. Tariq says it looks like something's still going on, looks like something's still on your mind. And Diana says that Monet wants her to give a eulogy, but that she doesn't know what to say. And Tariq tells her to speak to him as if he was still here, and then they start kissing. Diana pulls back and she asks about Effie. And Tariq says they broke up, and the next thing you know, they see clothes start coming off. I hope Salim ain't there listening at the door, because we switch to Drew and he's going into the Russian spot. He's disguised. He uses his charm to get inside and he goes back where the Russians are and he tells them he's here to get revenge for his father. You hear people in the front start getting shot and the guy is like, he doesn't even know what Drew's talking about. But then Drew stabs the Russian guy and says that a Tejada did it. This is bad, guys. These Russian guys, if these are how Russians should really be, these dudes are definitely gonna hit back. We see that Effie comes to Diana's door and Effie says she needs to speak with her and she knows that she is running the operation at the candy store and that if she knows, then someone else knows. She says she's looking for a new partner and with Diana's product in her system, that they'll be able to fly under the radar. Diana says that she doesn't think so, and Effie says that she doesn't need to do any thinking, that she will do all the thinking, and that she only needs her to promise to not tell Tariq until they get things online. And then next thing you know, Diana opens the door and we got Tariq back there. He says, hi Effie, how you doing? And Effie is like, fuck all y'all and leaves. Now look, I think Effie should have just whooped Diana's ass while she was in that robe. I'm sorry y'all. Effie should have put the gloves on, man. So now we switch to Brayden and Kiki. He wants her to help with making that Tejada investment fully legit. She says that she knows Brayden's up to some shady shit and that she didn't tell Lucas about what happened in Italy. She asks Brayden about what happened to his face, and he says, don't worry about it. And then she says she will help Brayden, but she also wants a cut because she's taking a risk. Brayden agrees. We go to Diana stashing her product on the roof, and little does she know, she is being watched. There's a camera watching her as she's putting her drugs into the lockbox. How did she not see that camera? That camera was like not even hidden. We now see Tariq packing a bag. He's texting his grandmother. He's asking her if she knows where to meet. We didn't see him go into the subway with his bag, and he notices that there are some people following him. He gets off the subway and we run into Obi. Obi takes Tariq and he questions Tariq about whether or not he's running, trying to get out the country. They check his bag and there's only product in there. Tariq says that Obi's making him miss a drop and he's gonna tell Noma about this. Obi tells Tariq that he isn't telling Noma anything and that he still needs all the money for his next re-up. Tariq says Obi needs to let him go so he can make the drop, and Obi says he's gonna let him go, but that he's gonna put them on a tighter leash and that he wants to make sure that everybody's coming to the meetings, and he also wants to know if anything changes. So it looks like despite Tariq wanting to cut everybody out, he's gonna have to pull him right back in. Tariq calls his grandmother and he says that he isn't gonna make it and that it isn't safe here for her anymore. Estelle doesn't wanna leave him, but Tariq says that that's how it has to be for now. We go to the Tejada funeral and it's beautiful. We got opera singers, we're in a beautiful church. We got the Tejada fam and the Castillos here. We see that Diana delivers her eulogy, and we also see that Blanca and Ginny are in attendance and they have photos of Diana going into the lockbox already. You know, now that I'm looking at these photos, I feel like, how do they know exactly where the box was? They put it like right above it, like they knew, like that was bad. Kane talks to his dad and he takes his chain. He says that he's gonna keep his spirit alive and he's gonna put family first. Familia primera. They start to carry the bodies out, and as they're carrying the bodies out, we got some Russians that pull up and they start shooting assault rifles. Everyone takes cover and Kane yells at Drew who's shooting at them. Drew responds that it's the Russians. Drew commands everybody to get up and they start shooting back. They kill one of the Russians and the Russians flee. After everyone's safe, Kane walks up to Drew and he's upset that they got them into a war. Drew says that Kane is rocking Poppy's chain, but that he's gonna take Poppy's place. Kane grabs Drew by the neck, and Monet comes out and tells Kane to stand down, and that Drew had a plan and made the right call. This pisses Kane off and he leaves. We see that Kane goes to see Effie, and she says that she's busy. She's working on disabling Tariq's coffee app. Kane takes away the laptop and he says that crashing the app isn't gonna help anyone. And he says, what if he gave her a better solution? He says he will float her product because she shouldn't be punished for handling business. He says he's gonna look out for her. So, I don't know, y'all. Are Kane and Effie getting together? What's going on here? They're getting closer. This is not good. We now switch to Brayden and Tariq meeting them. And Tariq says things are out of his control, and no matter the current circumstances, they need each other to stay alive. He also says they need to get out from under Noma, and he tells Brayden about Noma's daughter. He says that he needs to get back in the building and that Brayden needs to start coming back to the meetings. Brayden's excited to hear this info, excited to be back in the fold, and Tariq leaves as he gets a text from Lauren to meet up. We go to Davis and he calls Monet. She's walking into her house and he says that the feds have roped up the Russians and that they are safe for now. Monet thanks him and she hangs up the phone and she looks up and she sees a ghost of Lorenzo. Ghostly Lorenzo says he loves her despite what she did, but that when the kids find out that they will never forgive her. We end the episode with the camera looking at Monet. So all right guys, that's it. So that's it. We got a lot of people lying, a lot of people capping, a lot of capping in this episode. It was interesting to see people finally get confronted. Here are some takeaways. We know the cops are getting a lot of traction now. They got Sax lined up, they got Lauren lined up. Hopefully Lauren is texting Tariq to give him information and to help out. I don't know what she's doing, but I hope that she is. We know that she shouldn't be meeting with Tariq. So this is good for us. I don't think Sax is gonna take too kindly to being forced to cooperate with Ginny. I think we might be able to get something out of him later on. I am not liking the Diana and Tariq thing. I like Effie with Tariq better. I definitely don't want Tariq with Lauren. So we'll see where this goes. Let's go over to the Tejada family. So besides all the drama with Lorenzo, we know that eventually these people are gonna find out. It seems like Kane is on the up. Okay, Kane is on the up. He is definitely gonna be the one to kind of expose everything. Once Diana finds out, she's gonna hate Monet. I think when Drew finds out, he's gonna feel really betrayed, especially that she's manipulating him right now. You guys see that? She's positioning Drew, you know, even though she disagreed with what he did with the Russians, she used him as a foil against Kane because she knows that Kane knows what's going on. And I think Kane is gonna get the answer right this time. I know he's, you know, he hasn't been smart, but that's called a character arc, guys. He's gonna go from not being smart to being smart, okay? And I think next season, the way things are going, you see how Kane and Effie are getting together, there's gonna be another split. And it's gonna be a Kane versus Tariq season next season, guys. That's what I'm seeing. Now, another thing that I noticed in the episode, that Kai guy, they're not bringing that guy around over and over again for nothing. That guy's about to become a connect, because Monet and Noma are not gonna mesh together. Monet's gonna be like, fuck Noma, I wanna do something else. And that's when that guy's gonna come in.
Get out there and give me.
So I think that's it, guys. Make sure to hit that like, you know, and if you team Effie, hit that like, you know, a few more times, you know, make sure it doesn't, you know, cancel the like. But hey, we team Effie over here. I'm liking where Braden's go. Oh, sorry, no, not Braden. What the fuck? I like where Kane's going right now. I don't know why the fuck Braden on my mind. But I like what Kane's up to. I like the way he was moving this episode. You know, he stood up for himself, stood up for his dad, stood up for everything. I feel like the only one who wasn't running around lying. Am I right or am I wrong? Kane, I think Kane was the only person who wasn't running around lying this episode, bro. Keep that in mind. Remember that shit. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, put a notification bell so you know when I go live and make a new video. All right, guys, peace.